So every day in my robotics class, I have to troubleshoot a variety of different problems, and so often they are just sort of basic ones to troubleshoot. So, for example, a lot of the time you will have students who have put the cords in, but it's not fully inserted into the back of the robot. It'll be kind of sticking out a little bit, and so you need to double check. If something's not working for you, double check that you have indeed fully pushed in the cord so that it clicks in. Okay. Secondly, oftentimes I'll have kids, after constructing the robots, go ahead and try to make the robot move, and they'll say, well, Mr. Ashton, my robot is not moving, and so they'll be upset because the robot's not moving. Well, what's happened a lot of the time, if it has been pushed in all the way, is oftentimes where you see the B and the C in the program here for the movement or the action block, they don't have it plugged into the right spot. Maybe they have it not in B and C, but instead they have their motors, one's in like a D and one's in A, or even if one is in the wrong spot, then it's not going to move like you want it to move. Okay, so that is definitely something you want to make sure it is in the right spot, and you can tell by the action bricks which ones it's configured for, because you can select different ones. If you have, for example, if one was an A, then you could select A, and you would see A on the screen instead B and A, but I want B and C, of course. Oh, now it says C and A. No, I don't want A. I want B and C. Come on. No, not B and A. I want B and A and B. No, I don't want A and B. I want A and no. I want B and C. What is going on here? Anyway, you get the picture. There we go. B and C. Thirdly, with the sensor blocks, they also have their own ports, and they are not letters, but they are numbers, okay? And you want to make sure that if a sensor is not working, you feel like, oh, I have it on forever, it's got the less than however centimeters, and it's then turns off, and it's still not working, my color sensor or my touch sensor or my ultrasonic sensor, well, then you're going to want to check to make sure it's in the right port too. In that case, you look at your ultrasonic sensor, for example, you follow the cord back through. I might give it a little tug sometimes to see where it's being pulled into the back. And oh, I follow the cord around, and I do see that it is indeed plugged into my port 4, like it says. So that's not the problem about why it not be working. But it would be working. But if this was port 3 and I had this program ready to go, then it would not work because my ultrasonic sensor is plugged into port 4. So you want to make sure that you have it plugged into the right port as well. And so those are just some few troubleshooting things. Oftentimes as well, sometimes you won't see the lights on in the ultrasonic sensor for no good reason. You want to check the cords, make sure they're plugged in, but sometimes they're just not on, or the color sensor's not switching over, or something's going on with the touch sensor. Sometimes your brick freezes up. Sometimes there's nothing left to do but to take the brick off the top, disconnect the battery for like 10 seconds, and then restart it up, especially if the brick is frozen, and that's just a reality. So those are some troubleshooting tips you can follow to help you to solve some of those issues you might come across.